Hi, I'm Kat, and this is another storytime video. I thought I would do another paranormal storytime video for you folks. And this one is about the ghosts in the theater where I went to college. So I spent a ton of time in the theater, obviously. I got my degree in theater arts, emphasis in acting, and I was pretty much there all day, every day when I was in college. And even between classes, there were certain times when I would have a study break and I would just kind of hang out in the theater and study there because my next class was there anyway. So the first time that I had something freaky happen in the theater was when I was playing Belle in A Christmas Carol, and we had a pass-through at the back of the stage so that if you exited stage right and your next entrance had to be stage left, you would just go through the back of the theater. You wouldn't have to go outside, which always posed a risk of you getting locked out in the middle of a show. You would just go behind the set in front of the back wall of the theater. So no one would see you, just walk through there. And in this particular production, the pass-through was really narrow. It was probably like just barely big enough for us to squeeze through, or for the biggest cast member to squeeze through. And you had to be pretty careful to not trip over the supports that were holding the back of the stage up. So it was during intermission for one of our performances. I had gone to the bathroom, gotten something to drink, and I was just gonna head over to stage right to just kind of wait for the show to start back up again. And as I was walking through, I got to the very center of the pass-through, and I felt someone flip the back of my hair up, and I had my hair half up and half down for this show, and I felt someone just like flick my hair up, and I turned around because I thought it was my friend Ivan, and I turned around to smack him, and there was nobody there. So then I ran faster than I've ever run in my entire life in a theater, and I was so freaked out. My heart was pounding out of my chest. I just kind of cowered and shivered until we were ready to start the show, and I had a really hard time going through the pass-through after that. The next time something weird happened during the theater was during one of my study breaks, and I was the only one in the theater. Everyone else, I think, was out to lunch at the time because none of the professors were in their office. So I was the only one in the entire theater building. And then if you went out through the doors stage left, you could go down the hall to the piano study rooms. And I had just come through that way because I entered into the theater from that left door. And there was nobody in the piano rooms. All the piano practice room doors were open. And I went into the theater, and after about 10 minutes, I was sitting in the front row just reading or studying, whatever, and I heard someone crying in the women's bathroom. Now, it was a pretty small community, so if I heard someone in the theater, 9 times out of 10 I knew that person, so I figured I probably knew whoever was crying. So I went into the bathroom to see who it was and if I could comfort them or whatever, and there was nobody in there. So I thought, well, maybe I heard it coming from a different vent. So I closed the door, I went back to the center of the stage, and then I heard it again. And I followed where it was coming from, and it was 100% in the bathroom. Absolutely, without a doubt, was in the bathroom. And I went to the bathroom, and there was still nobody there. And then I left, because that was really creepy. And then 2 days later, I had gotten to the theater about 15 minutes before my class was gonna start, and no one was there except for myself and one of my friends who was in my class. And she had gotten there a little bit before I did, and I asked her if she would come to the bathroom with me because I was too scared to go into the bathroom myself, but I didn't want to walk to one of the other bathrooms that was outside of the theater building. And she's like, oh, okay, why? And I explained that I had heard this crying earlier, and she was like, oh, I heard that earlier and I thought it was you because you're the only one who came in after that. So we went into the bathroom, and once again, there was nobody there, and we were really freaked out. And I pretty much never wanted to use that bathroom ever again, but I didn't really have an option a lot of the time, so I just kind of had to deal with it. Ah, the ghosts of the theater. And those were the only 2 times that I really heard or felt or saw anything. But the theater was definitely one of those spaces where when you walk down a hallway, you feel like you need to run. Or when you're just sitting in the middle of the theater by yourself, it feels like someone's watching you. And Yeah, it definitely had some interesting juju happening in there. But it was fine. We just dealt with it and went on with our lives and did our shows and studied and all that stuff. And that's pretty much it. If you want to see more videos like this one, let me know in the comments below. I will do my best to summarize some more of my bizarre paranormal life experiences because they just keep happening. You know, never stops. And if you enjoy this video, please click that like button. It really helps my videos get seen.